What's up, everybody? We back with another video. Today, we got a season 29 tier list. All right, let's jump into it, man. So the way we're going to be doing this, I saw Nasty Mello's tier list video, and he did something that made a whole lot of sense, right? So what he did was he did the centers, and then after he got done with the centers, he went ahead and did the shooting guards, point guards, small forwards, power forwards, and etc. That way, he isn't comparing apples to oranges, man, because if we don't do it that way, then it's kind of like comparing Daisuke to someone like Fire King when they're completely different, because Fire King is a three-point shooter and Daisuke is a dunker blocker. So we're going to go ahead and do the point guards first. So first up, we got Albert. Straight to SS, man. This man is a monster. He has an extremely high speed stat, which makes him extremely mobile as well, making it very difficult for his defender to keep up with him. So he's able to actually maintain that ball while he's waiting for his teammates to get wide open. He also has a very strong psychology inside the paint through the use of that layup floater as well as the smart layup pass. They have to watch out for the floater, man. If they jump up and try to block thinking it's a floater and you go for the smart layup pass, then your big is just basically going to get free points. He's also a spectacular passer outside the paint, man. He's just a very strong character all around. Even outside the three-point line, he can consistently get those shots on in there. So Albert into SS. Boa. Straight to SS as well, man. Everyone's been using Boa recently, especially ever since she's got put inside the shop. I've been seeing Boa everywhere, man. She can use her stealing dive to quite literally go straight through screens. She doesn't have to worry about those. She can consistently mark the person that she's guarding, and that ability gives her an additional 20% chance to rip you, and it's an infinite use ability with no cooldown to it. Well, Rock told me there is a cooldown, but it is an extremely short cooldown, so you can spam that way more often than something like quick fill-in. Make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. I think she has a pinpoint pass. I'm pretty sure she has a pinpoint pass. I haven't really paid much attention to her kit, but the stealing dive is what basically puts her into SS, because think about those screens from someone like Emma or Zachary or Butterball. Doesn't have to worry about those, man. So Boa into SS. Justin, we're going to slap him into the S tier, man. Now, he's really good at bullying people's ankles, and that's definitely his job, man. But there is a thing when it comes down to guarding someone like Justin. Someone will quite literally just stand there and stare at you while you're using your dribble moves, man, and just wait for you to get done so they can block your shots. That's been happening to me a lot this season, especially since I was way up there on the ELO leaderboard at some point. I think I was like top 60 or something like that, and I was going against some of the best players in the game. My Justin was mostly useless. I found myself passing the ball quite often, man. So Justin into the S tier. He's a very strong character, but he cannot compare to the people that are up there right now. So May, we're gonna slap her into the B tier. She doesn't really have much of a place inside this game right now, because ever since Albert came out, May has been mostly useless because she was the only point guard with a layup pass, and her layup pass was definitely an ability that came in handy. But then Albert came out with the smart layup pass, man, with the ability to give his teammates an alley-oop. And now May, she's only useful when it comes down to giving extra accuracy. That's literally all she's really good at. She has a layup pass and gets 0 close shot from herself, and I think her close shot is somewhere between 50 and 60. That is not enough for someone like May. A lot of people just go ahead and let me do the layup, and because they know I'm more likely to miss it than someone like Natalie or Albert. So May into the B tier. Nana straight to SS, man. Straight to SS, one of the fastest characters in the entire game. A drift three-point that can give her 15% extra accuracy, a shot pass, a pinpoint pass. Nana can quite literally do it all, man. You need someone to pass you the ball, there's Nana. You need someone to score for you, there's Nana. Now, a lot of people don't use Nana as a point guard. Most people use her as a shooting guard, but those top-tier players definitely pass the ball with Nana like 10 times more than they shoot the ball with her. So make sure y'all Nana players keep that in mind. You want to make sure you're using her as a point guard that can shoot, not as a person that can shoot, that can also pass. So next, we're looking at Nico. We're going to slap her into the SS, because I've been seeing her a lot recently as well, man, especially because she has the level 4 proactive intercept, giving her an additional 0.2 meters to rip people when they pass that ball, man. It is extremely difficult to make team plays when you're going up against someone like Nico, because you have to worry about the risk of getting ripped because of that extra 0.2 meters. She also has a pinpoint pass, man, and a shot pass, so she can safely pass to anyone on her team, no matter where she is. So next we got White. We're going to slap him into the A tier. Now, back then, before they fixed his level 4 flash pass alley-oop, I would have definitely thrown him inside B or C tier. But now that that ability can actually give extra accuracy as well as give alley-oops, it made White a much more viable option. I've been seeing him a little bit more. I'm not going to say his usage rates have spiked since then, but I have definitely been seeing more White players. I have definitely been seeing flash pass alley-oops, man. And I have definitely been seeing him used with Camille. They don't use him properly like the way that I use them, but I can definitely see them doing it, and it's a really strong strategy, man. So White into the A tier, Yui straight to SS because she now has the biggest accuracy boost in the entire game. Before she got a buff to her alley-oop 3, she was given 15% accuracy and 15% disturbance resistance, but now with the new buff to her alley-oop 3, she's given 23% extra accuracy, man, and 15% disturbance resistance. Now, Big O was dethroned by her because his dunking pass was giving his teammates 22% extra accuracy, and that was a huge accuracy boost, man. And alley-oop 3, you can fire that shot off extremely fast. She also has a pinpoint pass, so she can safely pass to her teammates, man. She also has an alley-oop that she can use to pass to her bigs inside the paint. You see a Daisuke in there on your team, and he's being guarded by someone like Sarah. Those alley-oops will quite literally eat the other team up for the duration of the game. So that's it for the point guards, man. Y'all can see who's in SS. Y'all can see who's in S, A, and B. This is what I would rank these people. Let me know what y'all think inside the comments. So we're moving on to the shooting guards. We're going to move Ayumi into the A tier. Because of her inability to consistently make contested shots, man, she has to be wide open if you want to make those shots. Compared to someone like Camille with a flash shot, she could quite literally never compare to him when it comes down to those contested shots, man. Her base stats are just a little bit too low. Now, if you focus on one area, like if you put all your points in the mid-range or you put all your points in the three-point, then you might see some success with this character with the contested shots. But as she is right now, man, you can't really risk not putting more speed on her because she also has to get FLRs. You can't really risk not putting enough steal on her because she also has to get rips. So there's just too much stuff you have to split her stats into. So next we're looking at Conan. Yes, man, I finally figured out how to say this man's name. We're gonna slap him into the S tier. He's a really good character. He's mostly a cheesy character. You barely see anyone playing him outside of the self alley-oop. That's quite literally, man, the most spammed ability in the game at this moment. People spam this more than something like layup floater. But if you understand how to use the self alley psychology, like you stand inside of the spot where you can do it from and go into step backs and dribble moves, you can actually see a lot of success with this character. That's what Angel Mars was doing to us, man. He was cooking us with Conan, and there was nothing we could do about it. So next we got David. We're going to slap him into the A tier. So a lot of characters have been seeing more usage than someone like David, especially people like Marcus and Martin and so on and so forth, man. But David, he's still a really strong option. It's just compared to those other shooting guards that are being used more often, his kit just isn't really that good. So let's move on to Fire King. We're going to slap him into the S tier. Y'all are probably thinking, what? Are you crazy, Dream? Why are you slapping Fire King into the S tier, man? He definitely deserves to be SS. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, man, I have been playing against the best people in this game recently. I have not seen a single Fire King yet. Well, I think I've seen maybe one, and I've played close to 100 matches. I still have yet to see many Fire Kings like I did back in the day. You're seeing the other shooting guards that are much better than him in terms of consistency and being able to more consistently get wide open as well. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. Fire King, still a good option, but he has been dethroned. He is SS no longer. Friedman into the C tier, man. He lacks consistency. His level 4 ability lacks consistency. He cannot get those dunks in there consistently. He cannot get those mid-range shots in there consistently. He cannot get those three-point shots in there consistently. The fact that he was meant to do everything makes it very difficult to actually distribute those stats evenly. And if you do distribute those stats evenly, you're looking at a very inconsistent build. You put all your points in the three-point, you're going to be missing your mid-range shots. You put all your points in the mid-range shots, you're going to be missing all your 3 points. You decide to go into those two, you will not be able to do your layups consistently. You will not be able to dunk that ball in there consistently. It's just too much going on with him, and I feel like they could just make him specialize in a couple of areas. I understand he's supposed to be like Kobe, man, but Kobe, he was inconsistent, but he could definitely come through when you needed it, man. Can't say the same thing about Friedman, though. Hoy, into the C tier. straight to the C tier, man, especially when you compare him to his counterpart, which is David. So Hoy has a turnaround dribble at level 4. Once he gets an ankle breaker, he's awarded 10% extra accuracy, plus the 7% from jump stop shot, giving him 17%. But even with that 17%, man, he still struggles to be consistent with getting those shots on in there. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. If you want to unlock a character, a cheap character anyway, don't pick Hoy, man. Just save up 1,000 more gems and get David. You'll do just fine. Jessica, we're going to slap her into the S tier, man. So before I made this video, I was considering putting her inside SS, but then I realized maybe it's just me, right? So the top tier characters, they don't really struggle to stop someone like Jessica. They have no problem with rotating because they've played against her so many times. You barely even see her getting banned as much as she used to, unless a person just knows for a fact that you main that character and you're a monster with her. But with a good team play, Jessica is definitely one of the best shooting guards in the entire game, but she's inside the S tier because it's hard to stop her, but she can definitely be stopped. So next, we're looking at Maggie. We're going to slap her into the A tier because of her drift 3-point, giving her 10% extra accuracy and 10% disturbance resistance. That's better than someone like Mary, who's merely getting 10% extra accuracy, and she has to be wide open, man. I don't really understand why they're doing Mary like this. She definitely needs a buff. So next, we're looking at Marcus. Straight to SS, man. You're still seeing Marcus everywhere. I feel like that's something that's going to be a forever thing, man, because his pull up at level 4, 20% chance to ignore all disturbance and be wide open, man. It can be a severe disturbance. Marcus does not care about that. There's a 20% chance for him to completely ignore that. Plus, the peak time giving him 20% extra accuracy. His level 4 turnaround step back, giving him 10% extra accuracy, and his behind the back, giving him 3% more extra accuracy. Marcus, very strong option, man. He was very strong before, and then the level 4 turnaround step back came out. Now he is just basically the best shooting guard in the entire game. Once again, Mary, into the B tier, man. We're going to slap Mary into the B tier. Now, I was going to slap her into the C tier, but she has a little bit more consistency than someone like Hoy. She's also used more than someone like Friedman. Her drift 3-point is actually decent if you get the level 4, and you can manage to get wide open consistently, but her speed does not compare to someone like Marcus or Nana for her to consistently be able to get wide open like you need her to be. Next, we're looking at Susan. We're going to slap her into the S tier. She's actually a pretty good character, really good when it comes down to bullying people's ankles, man. She's also a spectacular 3-point shooter, but when you compare her to someone like Marcus, Marcus is basically a direct upgrade to someone like Susan. You want to learn how to play Marcus, man? Put your training wheels on by using Susan, and once you master that behind the back, that's when you move on to the next set of dribble moves. So next, oh, okay. That's it for the shooting guards, man. So y'all can see where the shooting guards are ranked, in my opinion anyway, and in terms of the people that I've been playing against, and also compared to the other people that's inside the same position as them. So now we're moving on to the small forwards, and we're starting to see a whole lot more of Ben, man. We're going to slap him into the S tier. So Ben, 4 different dunk variations. He has the regular dunk. He also has between the legs dunk. He has walk in the air dunk, and he has gliding dunk. It is very difficult to consistently block a Ben that is unpredictable when he goes in there and does those dunks. Like some people, they'll stall you out until you start to get anxious, and then they'll drop that dunk on you, and you'll end up blocking too late or too early. And he's gonna get those free points, man. He's also a decent mid-range shooter. You slap some mid-range on there, and you just so happen to be wide open inside the mid-range area. Don't be afraid to take those shots, man, because he's also decent out there. Next, we're looking at Butterball. We're going to slap him into the A tier, man. So Butterball, he's actually a really good character, but the fact that most people don't use him properly, especially when it comes down to the level 4, man, and people very rarely use screens. And compared to someone like Camille, he's similar to Camille in a lot of ways because he's supposed to be tricking his defender with pump fakes so he can get wide open. He's supposed to be setting screens and rolling off. Camille is basically the exact same thing, but he's like a million times better, man, because of his cut dribble move, basically the other abilities as well. So next up, we got Greta. We're going to slap her into S. It's going to be one of these two, man. We're going to slap her into the S tier. So her drift mid shot, one of the best shooting based abilities in the entire game. Her drift floater, one of the best shooting based abilities in the entire game. But her drift floater is somewhat inconsistent, and the person with a decent reaction time could quite easily block her drift mid shots. She's going to need a screen if she want to consistently get those shots off without those getting blocked. She also has a spectacular 3-point shot. I believe after you unlock all of your cells and all your masteries, it's going to be somewhere inside the 90 90 area when you don't have your gear and you don't have your assist characters. That's a really high three-point shot for someone like a small forward. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. Really strong in the mid-range area, really strong at the three-point line. She's also a decent dunker, and her double pump has a little bit of consistency. So next, we're looking at Havoc G. Wait, did we put Ayumi in S or did we put her in A? Okay, there we go, man. Next, we got Havoc G, man. We're going to slap him into the A tier. Now, I was considering putting him inside the B or the C tier, but I've been seeing a lot of Havoc Gs recently, man, using those quick shots, using those flash shots, and using those hook shots. They are killing people with this Havoc G, man. People are starting to realize how strong his pump fakes actually are, because his pump fakes, if he tricks his defender, then he will be ready for a quick shot, man. It's going to be very difficult to go out there and pick him up before he fires that shot off. So Julian into the S tier, man, because his hop step giving him 15% disturbance resistance, as well as 6% extra accuracy, and his shooting mastery stacking with that, giving him 25% disturbance resistance and 11% extra accuracy. That gives Julian the strongest flash shot in the entire game. If you do a pump fake with one of those, people are going to be very tempted to jump up and block that. So make sure you keep that in mind. Your hop step pump fakes are very strong as well, because no one wants to let you fire a shot off with 25% disturbance resistance and 11% extra accuracy. All right, man. We got the small forward god, Camille, into SS, man. The man is a monster. As long as he exists, he will be the best small forward inside of this game. His cut dribble move, way too strong, enhanced mid shot, as well as enhanced three-point, making this man extremely consistent inside both areas, because he's getting 5% disturbance resistance, man, 2% extra accuracy, as well as 2% extra wide open accuracy on both of those abilities. His cut dribble move, giving him 10% extra accuracy at the three-point line and making him extremely mobile. He tricks someone with a pump fake. You might as well go ahead and add their points onto the board, man. And next, we got Martin. We're going to slap him into the A tier. Now, the use of his jab step, if you use it properly anyway, it's a very strong ability when you mix it in with pump fakes. I've seen it myself. I've been getting cooked by people with Martin. But when you compare him to the other small forwards like Camille or Julian or even Ben, you compare a sprint dunk to walk in the air dunk. Sprint dunk is much easier to block than that. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. He's a really good character, but he just can't compare to the other ones, man. Next, we're looking at Natalie. We're going to slap her into the S tier. When she first came out, man, she was extremely powerful because no one knew the timing to block that layup floater. But as the time is going on by and more people have faced Natalie, they were able to practice more on blocking that floater. And now there are a lot of people at the top of the ladder that can consistently block that ability. But she's still a really strong character because there's a type of psychology inside of her kit that prevents people from actually consistently blocking her by simply avoiding using the layup floater, man. It's really that easy. So next, we're looking at Kiang. This is going to surprise y'all, man. We're going to slap him into the S tier. A lot of people have been choosing Kiang as their small forward of choice when it comes down to the ISO small forward dunker ability. So they're setting screens at the three-point line for the three-point shooter, and Kiang is inside the paint by himself with either a shooting guard or a small forward. You don't have a high enough power stat. They're going to be getting free points off of that. And Kiang, he has a more consistent double pump than someone like Ben because of his high base close shot stat, plus what he's getting from his cells. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. If a big is inside of there, he can switch from dunks to double pumps. He can also use the smart layup. So he has several different types of psychology inside of his kit, man. Kiang is definitely a viable option right now. He's very strong inside the meta. So that's it for the small forwards, man. Y'all can see where everyone is ranked right now. So thankfully, there aren't too many people inside the B and C tier because not everyone inside this game is really that bad, but there are a few that actually are. So moving on to the power forwards. First up, we got Alto. We're going to slap him into the A tier, man, because he's basically just a ranger with a hook shot, right? That's basically it. And his diving block, I've heard that it makes it extremely difficult to actually block things like dunks and layups. Haven't tried it myself yet, man, but I definitely will rent this character just to try it out. So next, we got Katiusha. We're going to slap her into the S tier, man. One of the best small forwards in the entire game that isn't a small forward. She has a double pump, man, and she can also mix that double pump in with her smart layup, and it's going to give her some extra accuracy. You use that psychology, man, you'll be mostly unstoppable inside the paint if you set it up properly. Next, we're looking at Lightning. We're going to slap him into the B tier, man. He's very strong inside lower elos, but once you start to climb up that ladder, people that are really good at blocking dunks, they're not going to let you get those dunks off, man, especially if they're using someone with a high power stat, because they don't have to worry about blocking early enough to stop your regular dunk. There's a very specific timing, similar to the Euro step and smart layup from Kiang, that you can block both a double pump dunk and a regular dunk if you have a high enough power stat. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. You might even want to pick a different small forward over this man if you want to dunk the ball, because his power stat is not enough. His dunk stat definitely up there, man. His jump stat way up there as well. But when you compare him to his counterpart, he's just mostly useless. So next we got Nikolai, man. Very popular power forward. We're going to slap him into the S tier because his smart block makes it very difficult for drift shooters to actually get shots off on this man. He is very good at blocking those shots. He is very good at blocking those dunks. He doesn't have enhanced block, but he does have a great block stat and a great power stat to help him consistently block shots as well as dunks. Very strong option, man. And he also has a really good box out. I've been seeing people play Nikolai as a rebounder, and they've been getting the job done with that character, man. So next we're looking at Pinky. Into the A tier, man. Her level 4 ability, there are way too many if factors attached to it, right? So if the ability activates, then she'll do the dunk. And if she actually is able to do the dunk, it has to go in. So way too many if factors attached to it. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. She's a good character because of her smart dunk. She's a good character because of her post board dunk. But the consistency of those abilities, and especially with smart dunk being much easier to block nowadays, because people have found the proper positioning, man. Even I have a hard time getting those off. So next we're looking at Ranger. We're going to slap him into the A tier with Alto, because Alto is better than Ranger. But Ranger, it's like he can't really do much besides dunk the ball and block. And if you're going against someone like a Daisuke or a Vanessa, or even someone with a nice block stat and decent timing, you're going to have a very hard time getting those dunks off with this man. And a pump fake could quite literally kill someone like Ranger. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. All right, next we got Rocket. Big Daddy Rocket, man. Into SS. Y'all know he belongs up there, man. The highest rebound priority in the entire game. Top 3 rebound height in the entire game. Top 3 rebound distance in the entire game. Very high dunk stat with 70 at base, man, and 83 rebound at base as well. This man is a complete monster inside the paint. If you want to pick someone that is a complete monster in there, man, you want to pick Rocket, because he is quite literally the best option when it comes down to rebounding the ball. So next we got Uncle Kevin. Now back then, a couple months ago, I definitely would have slapped him into the S tier, but I've been seeing people lock Uncle Kevin's down, man. Even with the smart dunk, because once again, smart dunk is much easier to block nowadays. People are finding the positioning for that quite easily, man. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. The post up and fade away is still a strong ability, but you're using Uncle Kevin, there's a really high chance you might be going up against another big. So make sure y'all keep that in mind. He's still a good character, man. It's just he's easier to stop now. All right, next we're looking at Zachary. We're going to slap him into the S tier. So, nah. We're going to slap him into the A tier, man. We're going to slap Zachary into the A tier. So he has a smart dunk. He also has a meteor dunk with a level 4 that doesn't make very much sense. So he's going to be getting 15% block resistance at level 4. That doesn't really actually help someone like Zachary, man, because meteor dunk, I've never seen it being blocked before, man. Drop it inside the comments if you've ever blocked or seen one being blocked, and I'll give y'all some props for that, man. But for me, I have not seen one being blocked. So Zachary into the A tier, man. And once again, smart block, smart dunk, easier to block nowadays. So that's it for the power forwards. We're moving on to the centers, man. We're going to slap Amy into the S tier. So Amy's a really good character. It's just that when you compare her to the other centers, people like Emma, people like Vanessa, people like Rocket. Yes, man, Rocket is basically a center. I don't count him as a power forward. But when you compare her to them, she's just not as good as them. The anti-box out definitely comes in handy, but her rebound priority is not as good as Rocket's. Her rebound priority is not as good as Emma's. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. She has a really good rebounding height and distance, but if she's going up against another rebounder, she's going to have a very tough time. All right, man. This might surprise y'all as well. We're going to slap Big Mike into the S tier. So I've been seeing more Big Mike as well. People are starting to realize this man's potential. He's blocking dunks at a consistent rate. He's blocking shots from an insane distance. He's able to dunk the ball, and he also has a hook shot. Man, this man has it all, bro. If you want a character that can lock down the paint, you want a character that can lock down the perimeter, you want a character that can dunk on his defender, you want to pick Big Mike, and you get him for free, so you don't have to worry about buying him. Very viable option right now, man. So Big O, still don't see Big O being used, man. We're going to go ahead and slap him into the B tier. Well, I would slap him into the C tier, but there are some cases where he's been useful, like space the floor teams. You can space the floor really good with someone like Big O because he can also shoot mid-range shots. You can do double pumps inside the paint. He can consistently get those close shots on in there, but you will have to rely on setting up your psychology properly, right? He's also a great passer, man, because like I mentioned before, his dunking pass will be giving the ball receiver 22% extra accuracy, and his specialized pass will make long-range passes pinpoint passes, so we can't overthrow the ball. He's really good at what he's meant to do, man, but inside of a game like this, against the people he has to compete against, he's just not very useful right now. Daisuke into SS, man. I've been seeing so much Daisuke recently. So the reason why people are starting to use Daisuke more and more often is because they realize he is a very strong dunk blocker. He is also now a very strong shot blocker, because a lot of people might not know this, but back then Daisuke's blocking range was pitiful. Now he's blocking from a distance similar to Emma and Vanessa. So make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. His shot blocking pass, I think it doesn't activate sometimes. Like, I'll see the special effect on the ball, but it wouldn't pass straight to a teammate. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. But Daisuke is also a spectacular rebounder, man. He has a really high rebound height. He can't really compare to someone like Amy, Emma, or Vanessa when it comes down to the rebound height and priority. But this man can do a lot of other stuff as well. He can consistently dunk on his defender. He can consistently block dunks. He can consistently block shots. You want a person that is basically a direct upgrade to a person like Big Mike. You want Daisuke because he is much, much stronger. So Emma into SS as well. Very strong center, man. Her pick and roll capabilities, definitely there. Her rebounding capabilities, definitely there. Her scoring capabilities, definitely there, man. She can do it all, especially when it comes down to the screens. And she's also the fastest center in the entire game. Because of her skillful screen dash, it is very strong, man. You're going to get to that rim and snag that rebound out the air before the person that was helping guard the person you were setting the screen for even has a chance to get in there. Very strong character, man. You like getting rebounds, you want Emma. You like setting screens, you want Emma. You like to dash off, man, and be extremely fast as a center. You definitely want to unlock Emma. She's one of the best options right now for rebounds. She always has been, man. She's been the queen for a very long time, and there's a really good reason for that. So next, we're looking at Howie. So still very rarely you see someone like Howie. We're going to go ahead and slap him into the B tier. He's a decent rebounder, I guess, if you have decent box out skills. His dream shake, very strong ability. But once you start to climb up that ladder, man, you can't just rely on that layup anymore, because some people know the timing to block that. Howie, his kid is really good, but he's just not very consistent in terms of scoring on people, man. His thunder dunk at level 4 increases his strength by an enormous amount. Still getting blocked by people without enhanced block, man. Still getting blocked by people like Emma. I got blocked by a big O one time, man, and I had like 120 power on my Howie, plus the thunder dunk, plus the enhanced dunk, and it just wasn't really helping very much. So next we got Sarah. We're going to slap her into the A tier. I've been seeing more and more of her recently as well. When she first came out, she would have definitely been SS because no one understood how to block the hook shot. But these days, it's being blocked quite consistently. She's not as scary of a character as she used to be. Her quick rebound only has 3 levels, so she's not as good as Vanessa when it comes down to coming back down to the ground fast. So next we got Vanessa. Straight to SS, man. She's blocking dunks. She's blocking shots. She's dunking on her defender. She's doing everything, man. She's basically a Daisuke without shot blocking pass that can rebound much better, man. She has a quick rebound. She has enhanced block. She also has enhanced rebound. Very strong character, man. Definitely a viable option. I'm glad they added some more rebound-based characters to this game. They kind of kill it for the center meta and the power forward meta. But if you're going to pick somebody, use them for their job, man. All right, last and certainly not least, man, we got Victor. So Victor Into the A tier, man, he has a really good power stat. He has a really good block stat. He also gives his teammates some extra accuracy when he's setting the screen inside the paint. But when it comes down to being compared to someone like Vanessa, who has an even higher power stat and even higher block stat, he's not really as useful. He does have that accuracy boost inside of his kit, but that is not enough inside of a game like this, man, especially when you compare him to his competition. So that's the tier list from my end, man. Let me know what y'all think inside the comments. Feel free to disagree. Just make sure you're being respectful about it. That's it. Now catch y'all on the next one.